Hello and welcome. In this video, I would like to briefly walk through one of the many Linux distros that I've been working with. And this one just so happens to be Pop! OS, which is created or maintained by System 76. And with this particular distro, I'm running it on a Lenovo 300E Gen 2 with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabyte SSD. I will just say briefly, the installation process was slightly a bit of a headache, both pre-installation and post-installation. The pre-installation process, I did initially attempt to set up a bootable media drive utilizing what is called Rufus. And I did have some issues on the install process, not one, but two times, at which I did a little bit of research, found another tool called Balena Etcher. I did set up the bootable media drive using Etcher. And of course, with the installation process, I had no issues whatsoever. The only other issue I had during the post-install was I had some issues where the wireless network adapter was not recognized, at which I will say through a lot of research and a bunch of technical jargon, basically I was able to use the terminal to check and see if my wireless network adapter was even recognized, which it was. It just was not appearing as recognized, at which I found if I just did the old school method of booting down the device, removing the battery, removing the CMOS, and even disconnecting the antennas, and I even removed the wireless network adapter card, reseated the card, reseated the antennas, reseated the plug-in for the CMOS battery and the system battery, and then powered the system back on. And I will say immediately the wireless network adapter was recognized by the system, which was perfect. Now, the next item that I'd like to cover is the current setup that I have. So as you can see, I have some desktop icons and as well as some panel icons. So the way I set up my system personally was I wanted the desktop icons to be more of a daily use ease of applications. So that way I could quickly locate and just jump right into the applications I wanted to use. And for the panel, I wanted those to be ease of access for more system administrator type tasks. So down below, we'll see that we have the app launcher, we have workspaces, files, the pop shop. That's where we go for our application center to download or install new applications. We can also run our system updates from there. We have the text editor, terminal, system monitor, disk usage analyzer, the GUI version firewall, and our settings panel. This last item here is just one of the tools that I'm currently using, which is Simple Screen Recorder. So we can kind of see that up here. And as well, some of the other items I've installed is VLC Media Player, Ocular, which is a PDF viewer and highlighter, as well as annotator. Of course, LibreOffice comes pre-installed. Firefox over here as well comes pre-installed. And then I did also install Brave. And the main reason I wanted to do that is I just wanted to run some comparison tests between Brave and Firefox. That was pretty much it. The item here, FreeTube, I initially installed that because I wanted to see if that was a good application use case for my daughter's device, which I actually do like because it does remove a lot of the ads and all the fluff that I really don't want her subjected to. And then the other item I have here is RustDesk. RustDesk is an open source version of AnyDesk, basically. And it's just a remote software tool. So that way I can offer support to my other devices as well as my daughter and or wife's devices. Now, I will say one of the more difficult items to learn how to do, if you haven't done so already, is creating desktop launchers. So we don't have the ease to just grab an icon and drag it to the desktop and that creates a shortcut link, if you will. We actually have to go in and create our own desktop launchers and set up the execution line as well as the icon. But once you do a few of those, it's pretty much the same process each time, and it's pretty straightforward. The biggest difference will come on about how you execute that desktop launcher. If it's a snap package, Flatpak, APT, if you're trying to use a desktop launcher to wrap a shell script, there's just different nuances to how we execute those. Outside of that, of course, I put shortcuts for the home folder, documents folder, and the trash icon. And then outside of that, you can already see that we do have the desktop icons over here to the right, primarily focused on office tools as well as the video tools. And some items that you don't necessarily see here that we could see in the applications view. Let's scroll down. We do have SyncThing. And I don't know if it's going to show here. Yes, I don't think so. But we have also installed some terminal level networking tools. And that's pretty much about it with what my setup is like. Outside of that, we can just click up here, if you will, in the system tray. And of course, this is how we can power off, do a restart. We can screen lock. We can adjust our Wi-Fi, look at our battery percentage, and then make quick system setting adjustments right here. We have our calendar and date, and just as well, workspaces and applications up here at the top. Last thing I want to show just briefly. So we are currently, I would say roughly at idle, but we are currently running the screen recorder. So with the screen recorder running, we're going to go ahead and click into system monitor. And we do see our CPU usage. Saw it hit about 49%. So it looks like it's fluctuating about 35 to 49%. And then our memory is right around 2.8, maybe 2.9 to 3 gigabytes, which still isn't too terrible. All right, we're going to go ahead and close out of this here. And just a quick view. I'll also show how much space we have left on the disk. And we do still currently have about 100 gigabytes available for space. Last but not least, I just want to click into Firefox real quick. Another item that I have set up is going to be a cross-platform cloud solution. And for that, I ended up utilizing pCloud. I'm not going to hover over it so it doesn't pull up the URL. But of course, I do have pCloud set up on all of my Linux devices, my Windows devices, and my Mac devices, as well as installed on my iOS and iPad OS device. Perfect because I can quickly upload pictures and or files with ease and just grab them on another device again with ease. And just like anything else, YouTube is synced on just about all of my devices, as that is hands down one of my favorite streaming services, if you will. And I think that's going to do it.